I want to take just a second to introduce you to the Manager, the portal where you control and manage all of your Liquid Web WordPress websites. This is very similar to our WooCommerce platform management portal. And in this case, I'm showing you Managed WordPress because I have multiple sites on this demo account. Now, one of the first things that you notice is the 19 sites remaining on my plan. So depending on whether you have the 1 site, the 4 site, the 25 site plan, etc., that number changes, and clicking the big blue button here allows you to create new sites. But you'll see here on this sample account, I already have multiple sites. And one of the nice things of this portal has in its interface is the ability to create tags for these different sites. So if I click on this friends and family, it limits it to 1. If I go to personal, there's just 1, and if I go to test, you'll see there's 2 of them, right? And so being able to put tags in here, right, allow you to quickly get to filtered sites, especially if you have, again, we have customers that have 25, 50, 100 sites. The tags really moves it quickly. Now you'll notice this little green checkbox that tells you that you're on the latest version of WordPress. You'll see that the IP address is here, and you can hit copy if you needed to use the IP address for something. And when I click into the name of this, you're going to get to the main place where you do most of the work. Of course, on the left side, the navigation has changed already. And here you'll see some of the options with our portal. Now, of course, we've talked about domain name and version and IP address. Below this, you're going to see all of the different ways that we want to give you access to logs. So you can get access to these things very quickly and easily. But that's not what's impressive about the portal. What's impressive are some of these features over here. The ability to turn off core updates. If you need to keep your WordPress version static for a couple months, we let you do that. This other little button right here, this toggle on plugin updates, allows us to support visual comparisons. What visual comparisons do is that every single night it looks to see if you have any plugins that need updates. It makes a copy of your site, and then it runs visual comparisons between the befores and afters. It takes photos of stuff. If I click over on visual comparison over here, you'll see, hey, nothing going on. But if I come down to another one of our samples, you'll see that we ran a visual comparison last night, and it was, or the other day, and there was no problems, right? So here's the home, here's the post page, here's the archive page, and even though we did updates on June 20th, there were no differences. Here's the before, here's the after, and it says, hey, you're all good. So as these sample sites have plugins that need updating, if there had been a change, they would have shown you the before, the after, and even the delta. And you'll get an email telling you, hey, we couldn't do an upgrade. Of course, you could also just click the button manually and say, no, we're good, and teach the system that, hey, that little difference wasn't a big deal. Those are background processes that happen automatically when you toggle that switch, right? Every single night checking. It keeps all of your WordPress sites up to date. Now, at the same time, you'll see a couple other things here, right? For example, domains. Domains is the way in which we can point different domains. If you think about parking domains or even just plain redirects, right? You can set them up here. So in this case, I have chrislema.org pointing to this new staging area, a new site where I'm creating my new version of my website. But you could also see I could have put something else and pointed to a specific path, right? So if we test this, I'll open up a new browser and type in chrislema.org, and it will redirect to this new domain, right? And show you the sample site that I've been working on, right? So that's our domains and redirects. We also have staging environments, which of course, you may have seen our recent press release that says we actually work with Managed WP to ensure that the databases can be synced, and we can make sure that you can run a WooCommerce site, for example, or any site where people are logging in and making changes to systems. We can synchronize between your staging and your product. So here's a new URL. This is the new CL, but dash staging, right? So all of those things sit in the portal as a way for you to interact with your websites. But you'll also notice this iThemes Sync Pro. Even before we purchased the company iThemes, we did a partnership with their sync so that if you didn't turn on that specific thing, like let's go into a sample here and turn it off. If I wanted to turn this guy off and say, yes, I understand I'm doing that, you go, well, how would I manage this? And especially if I had 20, 30, 40 sites and I wanted fine-grained control over that. Well, if I come back out to the main area, you'll see that link to iTheme Sync, and when I click it, I get directly loaded into my sync account, and you'll see here I have a couple of these. Eager-Beaver is one of those, and you'll see that the updates are all current, probably because I have the setting turned on. So if I come back over here to Eager-Beaver, you'll see this is one of the sites, and I do have it turned on. So because of that, obviously Sync says, hey, this is all up to date. But we have a partnership that, and all of this will eventually get rolled into the portal so that you can see all your sites, you can see uptimes, you can see the different reports, you can update and push plugins or themes to a broad set of sites all in one shot. That's our partnership with iTheme Sync to make managing multiple sites really easily. Now, below this, you're going to see the ability to turn this site into a multi-site. You'll see the ability to purge any kind of cache. We have all sorts of Nginx cache, the micro cache that's there. You can also turn on object cache. You can even turn on Redis or Varnish if you needed to. You'll see the different PHP versions. So we have the old legacy one, and then we keep moving you forward. And then you'll see, we showed you already the tags, but also this stencils component, right? Now I'm gonna go back and take a look. I think I have one of these guys as a stencil. So I'm gonna click in the stencils area here. Nope, I don't, so let's create one. When I come into here, and this is a site that is using Beaver Builder and Astra, so it has a default set of plugins. I can come here and I can say, make this site a stencil. So this is our Beaver Builder Astra stencil, right? What I'm doing is I'm saying essentially to the system, take a snapshot of this particular site, a snapshot of how this is configured, the plugins that are here and all that. And then I should see it show up here in my stencil area. Oh, you'll see it's being created right now, right? And as that's created, right, when I go hit create a new site, one of the options I get is not just to create the new site, but to pick it from a stencil. So this makes it really fast and easy for you to create new sites. I've showed you most of what's going on here, right? But of course I haven't taken you into one area. So let's grab one of these guys. Of course, I should also mention if you want to turn off page cache or turn it back on, you can do that. You can password protect it. You can generate your own password for SFTP and SSH credentials. And if you have your own license key for New Relic, you can integrate that. But that's not the important stuff, right? The important stuff is what happens when you need to get help, right? And when you need to get help, you have it all right here. Live chat, email, or phone call. This is available for everyone so that you can reach any single person at any given point in time. 24/7, you can call them, you can open it up a live chat and chat with them and talk with them. We have people who are ready and able to help you, right? And if you want to help yourself and you discover there's a problem, you can always go into backups and you can find all of your backups here, right? We schedule one a day. And you can come in here and you can find your backup and you can restore your backup, you can download your backup, you can do anything you want to manage yourself. If you happen to make one of those mistakes where you're like, I installed a bad plugin and I got to go back to something else, right? So that's the quick tour of our portal to manage WordPress. And of course, if you were using our WooCommerce platform, you'd use the same kind of portal for that. Thanks.